G'day and welcome back to UC Mad Scientist. Well, day 2 of Microsoft Ignite is here, and I'm here with a day late with my UC wrap up for day 1. First off, Satya gave a nice keynote at the Ignite opening conference. It was pointing out how change is the only constant, which is a ideal that we embrace wholly at my office. Pointing out that failing to adapt to change is similar to what happened to the automotive industry when electricity came along and people didn't adapt from steam to electric power. It didn't work out well for them. So pointing out that we really do need to keep ahead and move with the changes. So in the UC keynote, we had a whole ton of features delivered by Laurie, Skype Senorita, Heidi, all in a nice session with a beautiful intro with a nice dancing display on the cube. If you've got the opportunity to go see it on the live streams, definitely check it out. But a couple of features that were announced and have gone into GA that have been talked about in the preview program for a little while. We're seeing meeting recording now going live. For those that aren't aware, meeting recording is the ability to record a meeting in Microsoft Teams, have it automatically upload to Microsoft Stream, get streamed out, get transcribed. You can then, after the meeting, sit there, search for any particular keywords, and then that will just show you the relevant parts of the meeting. We also see Microsoft Teams live events went live. That's a one-to-many broadcast platform, so similar to what Skype for Meeting Broadcast was, this is in Teams. The differentiator here is this supports streaming using RTSP protocols, so things like if you've got an external encoder, if you're using any of those sorts of platforms, you can then push that into Teams and have that broadcast out to many. Now, another great feature shown off was background blur. We've been hearing about this for a little while now, and it's great to see it finally land in Microsoft Teams. And it honestly comes with the best bit of marketing ever. Anybody remember that guy from CNN? Well, he should have used background blur. A couple other new features are coming along. Yammer is coming to Teams. So for those who don't know, that Yammer is a little bit further out in that communications ring. So we have Teams, which is going to be for your inner circle, for the people that you work with every day. Yammer is communicating with the business as a whole, or maybe a huge business unit. And then email will cover your legacy users or people outside the business. Cloud Video Interop has landed, so it's now fully available from Polycom as a Polycom Real Connect for Office 365 service. I'm expecting to see an announcement from Pexip today on their service. They're saying it's live, but there should be an announcement about it. And BlueJeans shouldn't be far away, so that'll be interesting when it lands. Calling APIs for Teams have also been announced, so for those of us who have been waiting for an external contact center solution or even a tenant console for Microsoft Teams, we should start seeing some of that come from vendors shortly. Matt, I'm sure you're going to have your Office 365 call center product will get this pretty damn quick, so hurry up. We've seen some APIs for managing Teams lifecycles getting published as well, so this is the ability to add programs, add tabs, have programs pragmatically add themselves and remove themselves from channels without any human interaction. I'd also like to see the ability to archive Teams and move Teams data around as an API call, let you use Teams more as a workflow product. We're seeing a lot tighter SharePoint and Teams integration. So this will be the ability for SharePoint data and metadata to come into Teams. So instead of the files view being the same view that it's been traditionally until now, where it's just a list of files, you'll now have metadata being workflows, being review dates, being any of the stored data you used to get in a SharePoint view will now be available in Teams. The other good thing about this is that with the integration to SharePoint means you can start syncing your data offline using selective file sync. So OneDrive for Business will sync that data and you don't have to keep the entire repository on your laptop. We got to see some really cool upcoming features and some stuff that we expect to see coming in the future. There was a big push to making Teams work for frontline workers, for your normal everyday waiters, waitresses, all that sort of stuff, with the introduction of Home and Shifts. So Home will give the users the ability to see who's working today, what they're doing, what tasks they need to get completed today, and kick them off into the relevant sections of Teams. They'll also have the ability to clock in, clock out of their shifts, and this will be reported through the back end. Shifts gives the ability for users to sit there and manage their own time. So a manager can push out some shifts to a whole bunch of people, and instead of stapling something to the wall, it'll get pushed out via Teams. Can't work that day? Teams will help you sort that with another team member, get their approval, get your manager's approval, sort it all for you. We're going to see better data loss prevention coming into Teams for both private chats and public chat channels. So there'll be data loss prevention policies. If they detect relevant data, they'll give user feedback as to why it's been blocked. The user will get the ability to mark it as a false positive. Another big one coming is Office 365 dynamic groups for Teams. You'll soon have the ability to automatically add and remove users from groups based on their AAD attributes. So if you've got a user that's moved from one location to another and you've updated their AAD details, they'll automatically go into the relevant teams. I can't wait to see this one. Using integration with Microsoft Graph, we're seeing Teams templates. So the ability to grab a team experience that you like, a layout that you like, and then copy and paste that into other teams. You want a team to always have these 3 channels and these 6 tabs in that channel? Sure, we can do that. It's a Teams template. The Teams mobile app also gets some extensions. We're seeing some fantastic stuff. I'm a big fan. I'm always joining meetings in the car. And so one of the things that's coming into Teams is driving mode. Driving mode will allow users to reduce the bandwidth and distraction of being in a meeting. So if you're in a video conference meeting with content sharing, with all this sort of stuff, you don't want to be trying to view that while you're driving. You should be focusing on what you're doing and just being a participant. Driving mode cuts all that clutter out, stops the network bandwidth, and just displays an audio-only screen. So fantastic to see that. We're also going to see priority notifications. This would be an interesting feature coming to Teams in that you can tag something as a priority notification. Say something's offline, you need some attention, maybe it's a life-threatening situation. Teams will sit there and constantly nag whoever you've tried to notify for up to 20 minutes. Every 2 minutes it'll send a new push notification to their device, so it'll be at the top of their notifications, and it will constantly have a warning banner at the top in Teams saying, hey, you need to look at this. We're also seeing image upload and annotation in the Teams app, so along with image capture and scan. This is more image processing features built into the Teams app. The ability to snap a photo with something with my mobile device, then upload it straight into Teams and annotate it on the screen. Should be handy for mobile workers. I use an editing suite on my PC, but I still think this will be a fantastic thing to see improving the image handling features of Teams. Now for my favorite part, of course, is the devices for Microsoft Teams. There was a big show off on stage. I also went and walked the floor a fair bit and had to talk to vendors about what their Teams certified products are. So the first off is Microsoft has announced the Optimized for Microsoft Teams certification program. So similar to how we had Optimized for Lync, Optimized for Skype, we will now get Optimized for Teams devices. And you know if it's got that sticker, it's going to work with Teams in the best way possible with strict criteria. The new Plantronics Alara was demonstrated over on the stage, and I went and had a look at it on the show floor. You can see a video about that over here, as well as a new version of the Jabra Speak 710, which is a speakerphone I reviewed a little while ago, very good unit. A dedicated version for Teams with a Teams button. One tap will invoke Teams. Still waiting to get some more info on that. I'm going to drop by Jabra Suite this week and have a look. The Evolve 65Ts, which I saw in the wild a little while ago, have now been Skype for Business certified, and we're expecting to see Teams certification on them as well, to the point they were shown off in the UC keynote. So little wireless earbuds sit in your ear, very akin to a certain product from Apple that everybody loses one of, but the Jabra ones come in a nice carry case. They're a bit bigger, you're not going to lose them. They sit really snug in your ear, and when I get more information I'll pump that out as well. Yealink had their VC200 up on stage, as well as as a fair few offerings in the Microsoft Teams and meeting space on their expo floor. They're now offering Skype room systems, Teams room systems, as I guess they'll be known soon, and a bunch of different phones and meeting room devices, webcams. So it looks like they're entering the meeting space as well. They also had a Crestron phone on stage, the Crestron Flex. It did look a lot like an existing Yealink phone. However, having a chat with Crestron, There is a whole ton of stuff in the back end to make provisioning a whole bunch of phones very simple in Teams, whereas having deployed a lot of Yealink stuff myself over the years, I can say it's a lot of working with XML and an FTP folder. So it's great to see that there's some products coming from vendors. It's not just badge engineering, there's some software going into it as well. Another big push for Teams is security and compliance. I don't know about you, but as soon as you mention Teams to clients, the first thing they do is, oh, where's the data stored? How am I going to manage this? How do I get data loss prevention? How do I ensure tracking and all that sort of stuff? Teams will now have a lot more features in the Security and Compliance Center. So we're going to see more inquiry functions, being able to search private chats, being able to search channels, all this stuff in the Security and Compliance section as well. The great news for consultants like myself is that there's now a Teams administrator role. So you don't need to be a global admin of Office 365 or Microsoft 365 to manage someone's team environment. We've gotten some additional news on Surface Hub 2, and it does look like, unfortunately, we're going to have to wait a little bit longer on that. But it will be coming in 2 stages. There'll be 2 new models of the Surface Hub 2, the Surface Hub 2S and the Surface Hub 2X. Surface Hub 2S we should see midway through next year. It'll be the new Surface Hub hardware with the existing Surface Hub experience. One of the concerns from a lot of clients was the fact that they have significant investment in the existing Surface Hub fleet, and a new Surface Hub is coming along with a completely different UI. The point of this will be that the experience is consistent, and then when Surface Hub 2X launches, you'll be able to upgrade your Surface Hub 2S's to 2X. Now, no confirmation if a hardware upgrade is required. From what I understand, there may be, but pretty much everything else should just be a software upgrade. So that'll be coming in 2020. I'm excited to see. We did see the Surface Hub 2 on stage. They do exist. We saw it functioning. It's not just magic. And one of the great things we did see was obviously users have enrolled with their thumbprint and they could log in by themselves for a meeting. And it wasn't limited in the fact of what you could do. So when, for example, if I book a Surface now and I'm working on it, I can access my documents. But if I want to collaborate with someone else, we can't log into their OneDrive. The Surface Hub 2 will give us the ability that I can log on using my thumbprint, get to my files, documents and everything like that. And then, for example, Justin or one of my other co-workers could log in, his content comes up on the other side of the screen and we can cut and paste directly from his into mine. Done. A couple other things that I did see out on the showroom floor. Crestron has got a whole bunch of stuff coming for their product lineup. Great to see some hardware using their legacy infrastructure. So if you've got customers who've got investment in Crestron, programming, room integration, all that sort of stuff, their new line of UC Engine products will take your existing infrastructure and use some of it, so you're not throwing away that investment in Crestron. I am walking the floor a little bit more this week, so hopefully I'll get some more information. But that's it for now. If you've got any feedback or any questions, hit me up on Twitter @UCMadScientist. I'll see you next time.